Tovaryshi, your target for today is an enemy airfield west of Tolichin. Each aircraft will carry 8 Fab-100 general-purpose bombs to effect the destruction of this target. We have no dedicated fighter escort today, though MiG-3s will be patrolling in the vicinity. The formation will bomb from an altitude of 3,000 meters. The river, road, and village to the northeast should all be visible on the run-up to the target. That's all. Давай, мужики. Welcome aboard my Tupolev SB for the 4th mission of this SB career. I'm going to jump straight into getting the airplane started. We'll take off, we'll get underway, and I can talk a little bit about navigation to the target once we're rolling. It's nice and early in the morning. Who knows, maybe we manage to get out of bed before the Germans today. I kinda doubt it. And the fact that we don't even have a dedicated fighter escort has me a little bit worried, since we've been shot to hell twice now on missions where we did have one, but hey, let's not get too pessimistic immediately. There we go. Make sure both engines are selected. I already locked the tail wheel, didn't I? Flap set for takeoff. Props, mixture, everything full forward. Radiators are open. Let's roll. And also, welcome to Vitebsk Airfield. Obviously, after my stay in the hospital, we had already retreated some, so that's where we're located now. But hey, we have a paved runway. Luxury! So, can't really complain about that. And looks like just shy of Vitebsk is going to be more or less our set heading point. So, we're in the air, gear up. Let that speed build just a little bit. And flaps up. And now that we're in the air and have some speed on, I'll slow down so that the rest, well, so that my other 2 bombers can catch up. Still just a 3-ship today, so hopefully we can still do enough damage to the target on that. Our heading, once we reach this point, is going to be 210, and we'll climb out that way. Looks like our first visual checkpoint will be flying between these 2 lakes here. That should be easy enough. And my other bombers are in the air and catching up. So, should be good to take that heading as soon as we reach that point, and I'll set climb power shortly afterwards. Vitebsk is a rather pretty city, isn't it, on the river here? Lovely. Well, hopefully we'll get to spend a little bit of time here, although the Germans don't appear to be very far away, so maybe not, actually. Anyway, I can turn basically inside the bend in the river. I'm slightly further left to 210 as we pass over it. Engines are nice and cool, so that's no big deal. I think I'm probably... Well, I won't set climb power just yet, but since we're climbing anyway on this power setting, it doesn't seem to be too big of a deal. I'll give those guys some time to catch up. What can I say about navigation? Not much, really. It's a straight line there and back. We will pass in the vicinity of Bobr, which means beaver, if you want to know. The airfield, I think, is just a grass field, so we'll see if we can spot anything important on it when we get there. And that'll be pretty much the nature of what we're up to today. So I will come left to a heading of 210, which we're almost on. Or actually, no, that's a right turn, because we have the inverted compass, which always... Oh, and let's not hit the barrage balloons. Are my other bombers silly enough to do that? Please don't be. Go around it. Go around it. Please go around it. Please, please. Okay, I think you did. Since I was dumb enough to almost hit it, surely the AI would be pretty much just as silly. Anyway, we are now notionally on our heading to the target. So I'll continue to climb to 3,000 meters, and we'll head for it. We'll see what happens. Welcome back. So, if you can see this river that we're passing over here, that's this one. So this is our approximate position. You can see this hooky river up here. That's this one. So I'm going to consider this essentially our initial point. We're approaching our target. I'm going to bear slightly left, but in general I think we're more or less on track. I'm going to pop down here, recheck some of my data. I already computed a true airspeed for an indicated of 305, and we still seem to be there, so I'll actually just recheck that since I have a second. So 10 degrees outside, 9,800 feet, or 3,000 meters. I have to convert it to imperial just to put the pressure altitude into my E6B flight computer. Yeah, so 305 still comes out to 365, which is what I already had in the bomb sight. And for altitude, I will do 3,080 meters, since that's where we appear to be. It's time to have a look through the bomb sight and see if we can spot that airfield. What's this? That is the village of Volosplora. Technically we should be passing just to the left of that, but that's a pretty minor error. The main thing we want to check, actually, is that we pass directly over the village of Kakni. That being said, I can see the airfield anyway, so that's kind of moot now. And from the reconnaissance, it appeared that the only sort of ramp at this airfield is at the far end, so we'll tentatively aim for that at the moment. Now, preparatory to the bomb run, one thing I can do is check that my formation is still in the formation I ordered them into, because sometimes I go into trial for no reason. Not sure why. But they're still in the Vic I put them in, so I will open my bomb bay doors, and I will give the order to drop bombs on my command. And I'll double check that that airspeed's still the same. You know what? It's crept back slightly. It's now an even 300. I'll recompute my true airspeed very quickly. 300. That comes out to 360. Nope, that is what I want. Okay. Actually, I see a few more things on the field now. Oh boy, what a hit. We're not going to be able to hit everything. I'll select train mode for the... No, I've only got salvo mode available. Okay. We'll do a fairly long delay in the hopes that we can cover some more stuff. I'll try and hit some objects on the field and also crater the runway, I think, is what... actually, no, I see planes over here. That's a priority. So we will come hard left. Should have just enough time to align on those. And let's see, we'll put some bombs on the runway as well. Stay aligned on that, please. And drop bombs when the sight comes on, pretty much. At least I think those are planes parked on the ramp there. Actually, a little bit hard to tell. Anyway, sight is where it needs to be. Bombs away. And I'll observe the effect on target. It appears that our flight also dropped with us. I'd say we made a pretty decent job of that. Alright, well, next order of business is to turn, basically due east until we basically pass close to Tupolev and the end of that little river there. So let's see if we can spot that. So 120. What am I looking at here? That's that river down there. I want to be looking at this area over here. At least I think I do. Yeah, okay. Now, this isn't a big deal, but I generally do like to rally up at the point where the map says to, just so that I have a sort of starting out set heading point to work with. But it's not a massive deal. There, I'll align so that I can make my turn on that. Did I close my bomb bay doors? No, I didn't. My guys are still in formation. Okay. Number 2 hasn't closed his bomb bay doors. There's a little bug that you have to resolve by saying, drop bombs at will, and then he'll close it. Don't know why, it took me a while to figure that out, but, yeah, a few little bugs and weird little things that you do have to deal with in 46, although, frankly, they're a little more tolerable than some of the issues I was encountering in the Heinkel 111 career and Great Battles, so, I don't know. I haven't quite made up my mind which sim to do future bomber careers in. Probably a mix of both, long term. So, anyway. Alright, so our heading back home is 028 degrees, and first checkpoint will be crossing this bendy river here. I think we can make that turn now. So, turn left, heading 028, and also just a line on that bend in the river as a visual checkpoint. I did actually check for wind drift in the bomb site on the way down here, and there's none to speak of. It's super early in the morning, so I can just about believe that the winds would be calm. So, whatever, it's working for us. So that's just fine. Anyway, that's a heading of about 028. Level off on that. Trim, why not? Get that rudder trim so that we're flying in a straight line. Since I kind of jammed on that trim to align on the target. These guys are still in formation. That's all good. Okay, well. Bomb run went pretty well. Let's see how the return trip goes. Okay, we're starting to get a little bit of flack. Our current position is approximately here. We're kind of near the front line, but I am actually going to take us through some evasive maneuvers, so as just to not fly completely straight and level over that. We should be past it fairly quickly. Nonetheless, best not to give them too easy of a target, especially now that we're no longer bomb-laden. So I'll make some turns, I'll make some changes in altitude, and we should be over the front line pretty quickly. And that should no longer be an issue. I think they were shooting from down there somewhere. Maybe they're guarding that bridge or something, I don't know. Anyway, back down to 3,000. And I don't see any more flak, so once we're back on heading, I'll probably level off for the time being. In my right slightly, 028, and inside this bend in the river. I can do this pretty much all visually by pilotage navigation. It's, well, visibility is pretty good today, bar a little bit of fog around the rivers, which is pretty realistic for early in the morning, so props for that, I guess. But anyway, gonna carry on home. Righty, righty, that is Vitebsk Airfield down there. We have made it home. We didn't encounter any real resistance apart from that flak on the way out, so, well, that's definitely a change from before, is I think all I can really say. I'm gonna just make a very loosey-goosey left base, and we'll just land. I will order my formation to return to base. We should have them break off and land independently, which is just fine. And yeah, that'll be that. I can start slowing down a bit. Engines are quite cool, so I'm going to shut the radiator. Mixture is 100%. I can put props full forward. Preparatory to landing. And I should be able to get rid of all the speed I need to in the turns. And we can just square off that base leg there. Speed's coming back nicely. Put gear down, flaps. Take off. I'll extend them to the landing position once we roll out onto final. Someone's passing overhead. There are those barrage balloons over Vitebsk again. Assuming that we operate out of here from any length of time, I will have to remember those. Because that would be an unfortunate way to go if we smashed into them. So gears down, green lights, flap set for landing, tail wheel is locked. We're a little steep, but the SB has shown no trouble whatsoever in getting rid of speed previously, so that's not something I'm really worried about. Anyway, maintain 150 until the round out. There we go. Ease it on back. And that was pretty decent. We are down. I'll get the flaps up. Gently on the brakes. We don't need much. And once we're decently slowed down, which I'd say we are, we'll vacate right. Fortunately, it's quite difficult to ground loop in IL-2 1946, so I'm not super worried about that. And I'll just park up near these hangars here, why not? Doesn't really matter too much, I don't think. So, roll to a stop. Shut her down, pop the canopy open, let in some of that brisk morning air. It has been a fairly picturesque day, but in any case, that is about all that needs doing. We will go have a look at the debriefing. Right. So, looks like I personally destroyed 2 planes on the ground and 1 vehicle. Most likely, the rest of the formation did some other damage as well. Let's see what this gives us here. Yeah, so aircraft, static, car destroyed by player. Yeah, not too much information there. So, yeah, I'm not sure if there's too much more to say about that. That was a surprisingly uneventful and successful mission, which was a nice change of pace after the last ones. I know better than to expect much of that going forward, but this was a good day. I'll be back with the next mission in the near future. Until then, thanks for watching, and toodles.